Hello and welcome. I have a serious addiction to my phone, like bad. My screen time used to be probably between 9 to 15 hours a day, and that was mostly just my phone. So I decided for this weekend I was going to completely lock myself out of all social media, and I was only allowed to watch one episode of a TV show per day. And it literally has changed my life. This was just meant to be a lock in for college kind of video, but it did just turn into a reading vlog naturally. I read a new fave book, so hope you enjoy. Good morning. This is officially day one of my experiment. It is like 9:30 or gone 9:30, but I thought I'd have a little line and treat myself. You don't understand how hard it was not to just turn over and get on my phone and start scrolling as soon as I woke up. I woke up literally 10 minutes ago and then I got up, turned the lights on, opened the window, and decided, let's just get my mics out and start filming because I'm going insanely bored. So I'm just going to read and chill for a bit, which I like for the time I normally would have spent scrolling, especially on a Saturday. Before college, it's a bit different. I usually spend like 5 or 10 minutes. On weekends, I could stay in bed for an hour scrolling. It's that bad. So I'm gonna read. My current Kindle read is All the Young Dudes, which is a Harry Potter Marauders fanfiction. I'm sure that most people will have read Harry Potter or at least watched the films, but if you have no clue, the Marauders are what Harry Potter's parents nicknamed their friend group when they were in Hogwarts. So it's like a prequel to the Harry Potter series about the parents and the generation before. So obviously, this fanfic, if you've it's quite a famous Marauders fanfic, but if you're unaware, it is 500,000 words or something like that, like 520,000 words. And that's equivalent. I've seen a few different page counts, but they're all around 2,000 pages. And the longest book I've ever read was Kingdom of Ash, which was nearly 1,000. That was still, I think, 980 something. And I started this a week ago on Saturday. It's currently Saturday the next week. And I've already read 60% of it. That's how addicted I am. I'm basically in a reading slump for this whole year. But there's been like spurts of me reading, like inhaling books. Like this year, I'm either taking 2 months to read a book or 2 days. And considering this book is 2,000 pages, I'm quite impressed that I've already got it to their seventh year at Hogwarts because Goodreads splits it up into 3 volumes. Volume 1 is years 1 to 4, Volume 2 is years 5 to 7, and then Volume 3 is like their post Hogwarts life, which I'm not going to spoil, but most people will know it's quite sad. So that's my Kindle read at the moment. I do have a physical read, which I'm not sure how I'm feeling about it. I really like it, but I just want to read All the Young Dudes so much more that I'm not sure if I'll get any physical reading done on this little experiment. I don't think I'll finish All the Young Dudes either because that's still like 40% of the book. That is 2,000 pages left. I wish you could see your page count, but obviously because it's an EPUB, it doesn't have pages. So that's my plan, to just read in bed until I feel like getting up and getting ready. You're gonna have to just ignore my appearance right now because I can't be bothered to get fully ready. But I only ended up staying in bed reading for like 10 minutes and then I was like, you know what, let's just get up. But I've not gotten fully ready yet because why should I if I'm at home? I wanted to go over kind of the rules of this challenge a bit more. I saw Rachel Catherine recently got a brick, which is a little device that locks you out your phone. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm going to get this because I'm addicted to my phone. And I looked and it was £50. I was like, oh no. And I didn't want to just do a simple like swapping screen time for reading because, first of all, my screen time is actually like usually upwards of 10 hours a day because my laptop and my iPad syncs in with my phone screen time. And obviously, I'm doing schoolwork all day at college. I sometimes watch TV on my laptop in bed. So if I watch an episode or two of that, that's already 2 hours added. And then obviously, I'm like addicted to scrolling on my phone. So that was just unreasonable for me to try to do that. And then I thought, okay, why don't I just look at the social media time and stop that? But the social media time was usually like 3 to 4 hours. And I feel like in a day, that's not going to stop me from scrolling. Like if, for example, today's Saturday, if I spent 3 or 4 hours reading in the morning, I would just scroll for the rest of the day afterwards. Like it's not really addressing the root problem. So I thought I would do a social media detox for this long weekend that I have, because I've got Monday off, and see if that helps me going into the week, because I just feel like I'm addicted to my phone. I'm scrolling all the time, and if I'm not scrolling, I'm doing schoolwork. And I know schoolwork is important, but it just feels like I'm leaving no time for any forms of other hobbies or self care or relaxation methods. And I feel like I'm just poisoning my brain. So I decided that for these 3 days, I would do no social media. And then for the rest of the week, I would do an hour. I've set a screen time limit, like personalized to that. And I know you can just override screen time, but I'd like to think that I have the self discipline enough that if I do falter and like, oh, I'm going to go on my phone, that like that little barrier of it saying, no, you can't put the password to continue ever. I'd like to think that I would kind of come to my senses a bit and be like, no, okay, I won't. So that is the plan. That is why I've decided to film this video. I was going to do it a whole week long of no social media, but I need to ease myself into it. Like, it's actually a problem so bad that I just fail if I try to do it for a whole week. All the young dudes, let's talk about it, because this is genuinely one of my favorite things I've read this entire year. As I said, I started it last Saturday and I'm already so far into it for a week of me reading. Maybe not for a week of another booktuber reading, but I'm in a reading slump, so that is insane to me. This whole section is going to have like minor spoilers for the ending. So if you've read the Harry Potter series or watched the movies, then this is not going to spoil it. But if you've never ever even heard of Harry Potter, which how have you not, then maybe skip this part. Obviously, we know that Sirius goes to Azkaban, James and Lily die, and Peter betrays him, and Remus is left alone. And Remus is the main, not the main character, but he's the person we follow. It's in his mind, we follow his life. But obviously, the other characters are very much equally as main characters. You just don't get to go inside their heads. And so you're seeing Remus like come out of his shell, make friends, fall in love, because this is a fanfic where like a Wolfstar fanfic, so Remus and Sirius are in love. It's very so bad though. So you're seeing him fall in love. James and Lily have just started like falling in love. They went on a massive camping trip together as for their last summer before their 7th year. And everything is just so happy. There's definitely dark moments. They all have their own struggles, but they're all together and they're building each other up and making each other stronger. And so I'm reading it and I'm crying, not even from how cute it is, but I'm crying because I'm so sad that this is not going to last and that Remus is going to end up alone until, well, for quite a few years, until obviously the Prisoner of Azkaban timeline. So it's insane. Like, it's literally just them living their normal lives, like pranking people, becoming best friends, playing Quidditch, reading, studying for their exams, making friends with other girls as well, because it's not just the Marauders, there's a few girls that they're friends with, including Lily. So I'm just obsessed with it and I can't put it down. And I'm almost a bit scared that because I'm not doing any social media, I'm just gonna read my book all the time instead and just avoid all my other hobbies. But I'm gonna tell myself no. And tonight I've got a little church dance that I'm going to, so I probably won't vlog much of that because who wants to see that? I've got some fun, cozy plans for this week, very festive and autumnal, but mostly festive. So that was my long update for you. I'm just probably going to carry on reading, but not for long because obviously I've got plans this afternoon and evening. So I want to make sure I do a good bit of schoolwork this morning. Okay, so plans kind of changed. I carried on doing schoolwork and then I just had to go out with my mum to run a few errands and we got lunch. So it's now nearly 2 o'clock, I think. I think this is the time where I would have been binging YouTube videos, scrolling, watching TV. And whilst I am allowing myself one episode of TV show a day, I don't know if I said that earlier, but I'm allowed one episode just, for the evening time. I don't want to use that now. I don't think. And I also think now, because I have a lot of time, I will just want to watch the next one. Whereas when I'm in bed, I'm normally tired, so I'll just watch one. I don't want to do that. I might journal for a bit, like writing journal, but I also have my 2026 reading journal that I've started setting up, although I don't think I have the motivation to carry that on today. I might carry on my physical read. I might just read, but I just don't want to be using all my time just for reading. I want to make sure I kind of spread it out evenly. I guess I'm going to see where the wind takes me. I've got a few hours before I'm going to actually like get ready makeup wise and outfit wise. So I think I'm just going to chill at the moment. Find a hobby that I've wanted to do for ages that I haven't because of my scrolling addiction. Okay, it's a lot later now, but one of the little things I picked up earlier from my errands was some new Christmas pillows for my bed, and I also just washed my new Christmas bedsheet, so I thought we could set that up together, get in the festive spirit. Okay, so as you can see, I've got my gorgeous new Christmas bedding out. I'm definitely a Christmas colourful type of person, like a bright red and green, but my room is blue, and I do prefer having it blue for the rest of the year. But I thought, I need to have something that goes a bit better. So this has got cherries on, but it's mostly green and beige. And then when I went to Asda this morning, I got some nice new cushions and a throw for the bed to hopefully spice it up a bit. I got these gorgeously soft, like gorgeous green cushions, and then this blanket, which is like white and green on the other side, but I think I'm going to use the dark green because it matches the pillows almost perfectly, I think. I don't have a little like rectangular one to go there yet, but I think I'm going to get one that is like very festive. It can be a bit red as well if I want, but I've not found one yet. I'm just so happy with it. I think it's so cute. I can't wait to get another pillow to go there. I would wear my Christmas pajamas tonight, but I've just put them in the wash as I'm bringing them out for the year, so I'm sure you'll see them tomorrow. But I think this will be the last update from me for tonight. I'm about to get ready and go out to my little dance, and then I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. Well, actually, I think it's the afternoon now, but I just got back from church. I've not been on social media at all today, feeling quite proud of myself. And I just wanted to check in and give you an update on all the young dudes. I don't have my Kindle with me at the moment, I don't think. But oh my goodness, I was reading this last night before bed, crying, and it was only happy things, and I was still crying because I'm just dreading finishing this fanfic. I know I'm going to give it 5 stars. I know I'm going to be obsessed with it, but I can't. It's just the cutest thing you've ever read. But also, like, there is depth to it. It's not just like some random 2,000 page fluff. Like, there's lots of things they go through, but they all stick together. They have each other. They fight, but they fight and then make up. Like, if any of you are Harry Potter fans, you need to read it. I've always found the Marauders more interesting than Harry Potter Loki. And I wish instead of remaking Harry Potter into this show that HBO Max are doing, they would do a Marauders show. I would die. But I also think it's because it's not a middle grade book the same way that Harry Potter starts out to be. I just love the feeling of them truly being like English teenagers and experiencing everything that an English teenager does experience. Like, I'm not saying I like that they swear or that they drink. Like, it's not like the reason I'm reading the book, but it just makes them feel so real. It feels like I could meet them in real life, whereas I do feel like the Harry Potter characters feel a bit less like that, but that's obviously the nature of the genre. And I still have a special place in my heart for the Harry Potter series. I'm definitely going to start rereading it soon. And I can't wait to read Prisoner of Azkaban and just relish in knowing the backstory, even though obviously it's not their real backstory according to J.K. Rowling. In my mind, it's canon, so I can't wait. I don't know what I'm gonna do for, but I think I might do a bit of scripture study or chill, maybe read more. All the young dudes. I'm about to help with dinner anyway, so I might help and then it might be done. Who knows? But I'm just waiting for my mum to get home, so I'm just gonna chill and have some fun. Okay, I know I literally just spoke to you about all the young dudes, but I've just carried on reading it and I officially finished volume 2. I finished their 7th year and I've just started I think it's called Till the End on the volume 3, but the post Hogwarts journey. And like they're meeting so many characters from the Harry Potter series, but obviously either younger or their parents. And so you're hearing about like Fred and George as babies, and it's just, or maybe it's Bill and Charlie, I don't remember, but we've met some of the Weasleys, and it's just like the serotonin boost I get every time I read this. It feels like I'm reading about real things, and it feels so canon. I cannot stress enough. It's not written bad. Like, it literally feels like a prequel series. Like, I wish she would just publish it, and I wish like copyright wasn't an issue and she could just publish it and I could buy it and annotate it properly. There has been so many gut-wrenching quotes as they finished Hogwarts, and there's so many things that, like, because you've read Harry Potter, they'll be saying things and you'll see how that's come true for them in the future, and you're just like, wow, like it's so well thought out. And I'm going to carry on reading it. I'm addicted. I can't think about any other hobbies right now because all I want to do is finish this book. And apparently volume 3 is only 300 something pages, so I might be finishing this fanfic in this video, which I did not think was going to happen. I did not think a 2,000-page fanfic would only take me just over a week. So we'll see how it goes. I have officially decided I'm going to bank my first episode of a show today. I didn't use it yesterday, but I feel like I'm really missing it. You know, when I tell you I'm well and truly addicted to my phone, it's bad. And the fact that I've got this far, I'm really impressed with. I've just spent some time journaling, reading, spending time with my family, and I just want to watch one episode of Glee. That's all a girl wants. I'm going to do that now. But that will obviously only take like 40 minutes, and I've still got ages before I'm going to visit my grandma tonight, so I'm sure we can find something fun to do. It has been many hours. I've gone to visit my grandma and go around hers for dinner and come home, and I just got changed. But I'm on my favourite couch, so you'll see me a lot on here in this vlog. But this is the time, like prime time, Sunday night, where I would be scrolling, or I would at least be binging YouTube videos. I think it would be YouTube videos. So I'm going to do a bit more work on my coursework now, literally for like 10 minutes, because one of my friends got back with some feedback about it. And then I'm probably just going to read. I'm not doing anything else productive because it is nearly my bedtime. I just finished the fanfiction. As you saw, lots of tears, although not at the places I would have expected to cry. I would be caught so off guard by a random sentence and sob, but then sad things were happening and I would just read it in silence. I don't know what I'm going to rate this volume. I think I'm going to give it 4 stars, just because the feeling of like that heavy weight, like not depressed, but like that numb feeling that you get for the entire volume, just because it's all depressing and sad, and like I feel like it just loses its magic, which is natural, like it's expected to happen. I don't think anyone could write a book about this time period of the Marauders and make it still feel comforting to read. So I think I am going to probably give it 4 stars or 4.5, because it made me feel awful reading it. And I'm not going to go, oh, 5 stars then. Do you know what I mean? So it was like insane. I remember I was reading the end of it and I was just getting flashbacks to their time at Hogwarts and their time together. And I was literally like, it feels like I've been reading this book for 20 million years, but it's only been just over a week. I did not think I would be finishing it in this vlog, but I just couldn't put it down. Now I'm gonna probably, get ready, sort my hair out. It's wet because I washed it. I'm not just sat here with really greasy hair. And then I've got work in a bit, but it's only for 2 hours. So until then, yeah, I'm getting ready. I'll probably do an hour of schoolwork or something, and then I will see you in the evening. I suck at vlogging, apparently. It's now 8 o'clock and I've just had a bit of a day. Like I said, I had to go to work, but then I was doing my coursework afterwards and I had some issues with it. Before I had like personal stuff going, like it was just a whole mess of a day. I have been listening to my audiobook loads and I feel like I haven't actually updated you on that at all. I remember I screen recorded starting it, so it will be in the b-roll somewhere, but I haven't actually updated how I've been finding Midnight Library. And I'm only 20 minutes from the end. I don't know how this has happened, but I guess it's just made me realize how I truly have background noise for everything, which is maybe something I need to stop, because every time I would go to put a video on in the background, I obviously couldn't, so I put my audiobook on, and now I've nearly finished the audiobook. And I was listening to it at 1.5 speed for a bit and then 1.75, so it's obviously not the full 8 hours. Like, it's been on the background a lot, although to be fair, I have been listening to it in place of music as well, because I've obviously been invested in it and enjoying it. So I'm gonna make hot chocolate, put my festive pajamas back on that I was literally wearing this morning, and like kind of, take my makeup, get ready for bed, and then we can have a proper little chin wag about the Midnight Library. We can talk about what book I'm going to start next, because I obviously finished All the Young Dudes, and but maybe that's why I've been bad at vlogging, because that book is literally like a weight on my chest. I just can't stop thinking about it. Just tried to film the outro for this video 3 times, and each time they've been like 10 minutes long, and each time something has gone wrong, which meant I couldn't keep the video. So you're gonna get the very short and sweet version. All the Young Dudes, I gave 5 stars overall. The individual volumes, I did 5 stars, 5 stars, 4.5, and I think that half a star was purely just because of the numbness and dreariness I felt reading the ending, to the point where it wasn't like an upset that would, like, for a sad book that I would be obsessed with, it was like an upset that I never want to feel again. So that's why I got 4.5. Midnight Library, I never really ended up like properly talking to you about this book, and I don't know how, because I consumed it in 3 days, which is unheard of for me, especially when it's an audiobook. But I definitely got invested in the story, so I would listen to it instead of music. I'm a cleaner at work, so for the whole time I get to listen to music on my shift, so I instead used the audiobook. Like, it was good timing, especially because I wasn't able to watch like videos in the background of eating or getting ready, so I would be listening to the audiobook. I gave this 3.5 stars. I really loved the message of it. The kind of premise, to give you a quick summary, is about a girl who, there's a heavy trigger warning for depression and suicide in this book, but it does say on the synopsis, it's not a spoiler, that she commits suicide, and she ends up in the library, the Midnight Library, and every book in the library is her life if she'd made a different decision at any point. So there's like an infinite amount of books, because obviously you make hundreds of thousands of millions and trillions of decisions a day. The books range from big decisions like if she didn't quit swimming and went on to become an Olympic swimmer, or if she decided to become a glaciologist. Like, there's all these different career choices she could have chosen, boyfriends she could have stayed with, people she could have stayed friends with or not. So, like, a lot of different decisions, and she is in this library and she gets to experience each of these lives and see how they would have been. And I really liked it. The only downfall of this book for me was that it, even though it's short, it got quite repetitive. It got to a point where I was reading it and I was like, we're just doing the same thing over and over and over, and she's not coming to any sort of realization. She's not making any progress. She's just doing the same thing. That's probably where it fell short for me, but I still loved it, and it wasn't repetitive to a fault where I was like, no, 2 stars, 1 star, hated it. It still definitely had a lot of good scenes, a lot of messages that I liked. So that's why I gave it 3.5. I'm really glad I did this challenge. I definitely learned how much time I truly have in a day. I averaged 44 minutes of screen time each day, and it was mostly from either texting people or Googling something or recording something. So, I'm pretty proud of that. My standout from this challenge was that going to bed is so much easier. I can get into bed at 9 and be asleep by 10. Before, I used to purposefully get into bed at 8 o'clock because I knew I would be scrolling or watching for so long that if I wanted to be asleep by midnight, I had to be in bed by 8, which is ridiculous. I would have such broken sleep. I would fall asleep watching things. So I'm just so glad that I did this challenge. I definitely am not out of the end of it where I feel like I could go all day without wanting to scroll, because that's just a lie. It's only been 3 days. I would happily scroll for an hour right now, but I'm exercising my self-discipline. I'm sticking to it, and hopefully this will have a nice knock-on effect into the week where I'll only be sticking to my hour limit of social media time. If you've made it to this point in the video, I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful that you watched. We all know I'm not a very consistent poster on here, so hopefully I can get another video out soon, but I will see you in the next one. Bye!